Hello and welcome to the Oregon Optimist. I'm Isabel Ford here with our guest Mike Nearman, who is running for state representative. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So as a pro-life and pro-traditional marriage candidate, what are some goals that you plan to pursue if you win the election?
One of the things that I think I'd like to do is just to have a lot to learn during the session and everything, is just to be an advocate for life and for traditional values. And so I'm willing to lend my name to that and whatever. I don't expect there'll be that much legislation with those issues. So there might be a few things, and I'll certainly support those. But I just to be an advocate, just to have the people know that they have a voice in the legislature.
So I understand you have a background in software engineering.
Yeah, I'm a software engineer.
And you mentioned on your site that gives you a perspective on how Oregon uses its taxpayer dollars and what projects. Could you explain a bit more about that?
Yeah, one of the things that we do as software engineers is we test things and we take small bites at the apple. And so I think that's one of the things one of the talents that I hope to bring. I don't think there's very many software engineers in the state legislature. I don't think there's any. Like for instance, Cover Oregon was just this big grand scheme of the one-stop shopping for welfare, and all the states would bow down and want to copy us and all that. And that kind of hubris is not really very productive it's not a good environment to develop software in. So I think that taking the small bites is a better way to do things. I look at, for instance, just to switch gears, Common Core is another example where we have this brand new educational theory and we're just going to unleash this on every single state and cram it down everybody's throat. And it would be nice to test it in certain states first and see if it works and needs fixing or tweaking, because almost everything does. So that's a skill that I hope to bring to the state legislature is that kind of thing.
So you mentioned Common Core in that. What exactly are your views on the implementation of Common Core?
Well, I think what really made this country great was just the school marm in the one-room schoolhouse, and I think education is best delivered in a custom way to kids, and I think with Common Core, it's a behemoth top-down solution, and it takes away the ability of teachers to do what they do best, and that is to ad hoc develop solutions for each individual student. And that's really when this country really became great, is when teachers were allowed to teach. And so that's the big problem with Common Core, I think. And so I'd favor wholesale repealing of it, and I think that may be doable in the next year or a couple of years.
So on top of all this, what would you say that if you were elected as a state representative, what do you think would be your most important goal?
Well, I think I have a lot to offer, but I think I have a lot to learn. So I think for the first session, I think I need to learn. And I think, I guess my biggest goal is to provide oversight and accountability for the state. And I think that's one place where we've been slipping away. The state budget increases by double digit each session, and we get these grand new programs. We threw away $250 million on the Cover Oregon and nearly as much on the Columbia River crossing, and we need to take a deep breath, and we need to do some oversight. We need to do some things right. We need to do things well, and we need to do them efficiently.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mike. It was great to have you.
Good. Thanks for having me.